Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Turnstiles podcast. My name is Matt.
And I'm the schmuck named Nick.
That's right. It's the schmuck! Anyway, today we are back yet again. The first thing we always start with is movie talk.
Yay.
Yay! Okay, today's movie...
I didn't know we were gonna... golf clapping.
That's good. Good. We have our own. We have the Nick Townsend percussion section. Anyway, I call that number the aggressive golf clap. Yes, that's my favorite. That's my favorite song off your new album. Anyway, today's film is Get Smart from 2008, and it stars Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway and a bunch of other people.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a film adaptation of the 1960s TV series of the same name that starred Don Adams.
Barbara Feldon.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you very much. I do like that. See,
hey, I love the show a lot.
It is what I've seen of the show. It is great. But it's a Mel Brooks based, written in show. And so, of course, I'm going to... But no, he didn't... Great. Now even I'm questioning myself. Fantastic.
From over here, he did the first episode. That's all I know.
I know he was involved outside of that as well. So the film, the thing is, when the film came out, I had no idea what Get Smart was. But my parents knew what it was. And my mother loved the show when she was growing up. We never saw it in theaters, but we did rent it on, I think it was back when Redbox actually existed.
I know my parents loved the show as well.
It's a great show.
And I know my dad knows about the film. If I remember correctly, he does... I don't think he likes it. I don't think so.
Hey, listen, trust me. I know what it's like to feel a certain way about a certain adaptation. Sometimes, Trust me. I have my gripes with certain adaptations. We'll get to that one day, probably. Nick, what do you want to cover first? Dislikes or likes?
I could go either way on this. Why don't you start?
Fine. We'll start with dislikes because I only have one dislike, and it's very minor. It's not a huge thing, but they killed Siegfried. Did I say Siegfried? Siegfeld.
No, Siegfried.
Oh, Siegfried. Why do I... Oh, no wonder.
Yeah,
I wrote it
it's
wrong
a German name. It's Siegfried.
Nick, I wrote it down wrong in my notes.
Damn it, Matt.
Listen, be happy I didn't write down Zod out of nowhere. Yeah, I did. I spelled it wrong.
Good evening, smart. I can't help it. I love the original. Guess what? What do you want from me?
Hey, listen, that's good. Anyway, I will say, killing off the character, it was kind of okay, interesting. Now we can't come back for the sequel. It probably was never going to happen anyway. No matter how successful the film was, it feels like a one-off film. And I think that's a good thing. But, thinking about that, it's that minor of a thing. Nick, it's your turn to talk about dislikes.
Alright, I actually kind of have a few, believe it or not. Most of them are more on the nitpicky sort of thing.
That's fine. I'm the master of nitpicking, so go for it.
First off, Larrabee. Good lord, that is not Larrabee at all. He is an ass in this film. He is a complete and total utter dislikable ass while in the show. I know from what I remember, he was only in season 5. But he was even more incompetent schmuck than Maxwell Smart. Oh, actually, no. I can't recall Maxwell Smart incompetent. Point is,
he was incompetent, but he wasn't an asshole, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm trying to say is Larrabee. He's just probably dead from the neck up mentally. I don't know. Pretty much, he was not smart at all.
What are we talking about?
I'm talking about Larrabee.
Are we talking about the series now, or are we talking about the movie?
The series. In the show, he was just very much.
He was just dumb.
Yeah,
he was just dumb.
His bulb did not shine at all. It was black. It was a blackout in his brain.
Exactly. There was no lights on at home at all.
While Larrabee in the movie had some intelligence, and he was, some. I didn't say a lot.
I know, but worst of all,
that's not a high bar. However, he's an obnoxious ass.
Sometimes it's funny. Other times you're like, thank God Patrick Warburton beat the crap out of him at the end.
Seriously.
And on the other hand, it did give it made me root for Dwayne Johnson for a second there. So there's something.
Come on, why would you do that? I don't get it. That's a change I just not into.
That is a fair point. If you've seen the series, you're like, why did they go there? If you haven't seen the series, like I haven't seen the series, I didn't really think about it much.
Speaking of things that make me go, why did you do that? Jaime, believe it or not.
Why was he?
Because he was made by Control in this film. He was not made by Control in the original series. He was made by Chaos to take down Control. I remember this. Apparently the film writers did not.
I don't think it's they forgot. I think it's that they figure, well, they wanted to do something different, maybe. It's possible. I mean, because it's probably...
I don't know.
On the other hand...
It bothers me, being too much of a fan and whatnot. It's
a change. Nick,
I know it's a change. I don't know.
That's why it bothers you. It's like, trust me,
again,
I know the feeling.
These are the nitpick. However, remember,
I totally know.
I was gonna say these are the nitpicky sort of things. So
that is fair. That is a fair point. I can honestly, I can understand where you're coming from because I got my own nitpicks about things. Trust me, we'll get to that later.
And one more thing about Jaime.
Go ahead.
He's a little too expressive, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. In the show, he was dull, very static, very mechanical machine, like robot and all that stuff. Because that's what he was. He was a robot.
No, I get what you mean. I do. Actually, I do think I finally get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. It's, again, nitpicks. Let's see. I think some of the, the comedic deliveries just feel a little on the weak side at times.
That's fine. Yeah.
But one thing I do have an actual problem with, it feels like Siegfried took a backseat as the main villain. It feels like they shifted the main villains to Agent 23. Spoilers.
Oh, you mean Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly. I feel like his profile as a star was just big enough that he could go into, like, having bigger roles, more powerful roles, but still couldn't do everything. He could still lose a fight. He could still get hit in the face. He could still, he wasn't Superman without the hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But all I'm trying to say is, I just don't like how they made Siegfried one of the biggest villains in Get Smart. Just relegated to just backseat him a little bit.
It would be like if they did that with Bond, if they took Blofeld and made him second in command to I don't know. I'm trying to think of somebody. I can't think of anything. So
I know he was kind of in command of Chaos, but he was working more under the Rock in this case for the most part. That's what it felt like.
It would be like a reboot. It'd be like a reboot of Austin Powers, where they make Dr. Evil the second in command to his son,
or even Mini-Me.
Or Mini-Me. No, that'd be better. That'd be interesting.
That'd be funny, actually. I shall call him Mini-Me. But yeah. Those were really the negatives, I have to say.
Nick, I have to agree with you on Siegfried being a more backseat character. It kind of felt that way. It surprised me that he was working for somebody else. It didn't click the first couple times. Now maybe Siegfried is a code name. That could have been what they were setting up.
I don't know, maybe. Who knows?
No, probably not. There's no sequel, and I'm okay with that. But
yeah, I'm okay with this film not having a sequel.
Thinking about it, I could see that as I kind of agree with that more that a little bit. However, I will say
I know it sounds like it did a lot of bitching for the film.
No.
I don't.
No, it's fine.
No. I just want to say it's for the general audience and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Basically, the way to summarize what Nick said, he had nitpicks and one really strong point to make. That doesn't mean he hates the film. If you want to see him hate a film, we'll get to that one day probably. Don't worry, we'll know. Trust me. He'll be as unhinged as I am most of the time.
But yeah, I'll say this. It may sound like I was being a little harsh to the front, but believe me, I did not hate my experience watching this film. I should had some fun watching this. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
And going into some of the positives, I did like Steve Carell a little bit. I think he was fine.
Love Steve. I thought he was good. And the thing is, he was doing the right thing. He was doing something of his own. He was playing his own Maxwell Smart. He wasn't trying to mimic. Here's the thing.
But
if
also,
they were going to go for...
But also he got, the bit of the characterization right. A bit of a goof, but he's also...
But he's not stupid. Exactly. I love that about his character.
That's what I was trying to say for Larrabee. Larrabee is just a major goof, while Maxwell Smart it's a bit of a goof. That's what I was.
But yeah.
There
and
we go.
Don Adams,
Man,
what I've seen of the original series, Don Adams played that so well.
Mm-hmm.
And to see Steve Carell in his take, it worked well too, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think some of the stuff. I like the stuff, like the airplane bathroom.
I love the airplane bathroom sequence. That was great.
Mm-hmm. That was a bit fun to watch.
Oh yes, I loved it.
Mm-hmm. And even the parachute scene was pretty fun.
Oh yeah,
there are some fun moments. I never give the film.
There are moments that are like you're like, okay, that's fine, and then there are parts where like, oh, that's really funny.
Mm-hmm. It's like there's stuff like holy shit, I never got stabbed by a fish or something.
Exactly. Let's talk about 99. I'm sure we should talk about Anne Hathaway as 99.
Oh, yeah, I think I forgot to put notes on this. I think she was kind of annoying for some of the film.
At times, yeah, I do. I would say that.
I said some.
I think that's the idea, though, as over time, she grows to appreciate Max, and he...
Thank you for bringing up what I was about to say.
Sorry, I like doing that. I love talking over everybody.
No, do it. Yeah, it helps me. It makes me speak less.
That's understandable. But the thing is, I will say, since we talked about I did like their chemistry, you know what I mean? Like, especially once they really started to kind of connect. And I think this time it felt more, it was more invested. Because I got to relearn more about the characters, and I was like, wow, that is actually really good.
It's like, yeah, with, 99 being the straight man in this case, well, with Maxwell being the comic relief and whatnot. But also showing, 99 to grow more as a person, as you said, appreciating what Maxwell Smart does. Especially,
and let her guard down a little bit.
And especially after, seeing how Maxwell Smart took out the giant guy.
Mm-hmm. That was cool. I like that.
Yeah, due to the intel he got, the Phoenix doing, which, shown at the very beginning of the film. Nice touch. I like that.
Yeah. And I think also for me, I like that part where she does reveal her past.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's well done. It really actually works. Because there are some movies that try to do more, I don't want to say dramatic, but like more serious moments. And they don't work because they jar so much, or they just seem to come out of nowhere for the character and come out of nowhere for the scene. But where it happened and how and who said it actually made sense and it worked at the moment. Both characters worked there in that scene too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what made it work better than some other movies that try to do that kind of stuff. And yeah. By the way, I know go ahead.
Any other positives you want to say at the moment?
Oh, I got a ton. I got a lot.
All right. Let's keep it going.
Really simple. I loved Alan Arkin because usually he's very good anyway. But
he was the chief. He was chief, right?
He was the chief. Yes.
Gotcha. I think he did a pretty fine job as a chief.
I think so. As is again, he was being he was doing his own thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
However, he still tries to do what she like in the original show, a competent leader.
That's true.
A competent leader who cares for his agents.
And he really played that. I really believe that. And here's the thing. Like I said, I've never really watched the show. I've seen a few, maybe an episode or two.
Jesus, man. Watch the show more.
I have it. So it's not, my mother has it. So I can watch it whenever I want.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a funny-ass show.
I know it is. It's got Mel Brooks involved. How funny can't... It has to be funny.
I say the whole show. The whole show. Can you believe it? The whole show.
I can believe it. The whole show. That's right.
I find it hard to believe, Mr. Matt.
Well, Chief, that's a very funny story.
Damn it, man,
I missed it by that much.
Man, you missed the joke by a lot. That was the would you believe joke.
Yes, would you believe that I missed the joke by that much?
I find it hard to believe,
See,
Mr.
I can
Matt.
make references. Once I actually am awake, I can make references.
Jeez. Great. Now we're just being unhinged against smart people. Congrats. We don't know what we're talking about here. Folks, we did not consume alcohol before this, we swear.
Yeah, I don't drink anyway, so. And I will say though, you know what I really liked in this film?
What'd you like?
Dwayne Johnson. I like Dwayne Johnson in this film.
I think that's the right character. I like the whole the betrayal setup and whatnot.
I like that. It was a good double cross.
Mm-hmm. And hell, especially they foreshadow the whole double crossing throughout the film and whatnot.
Exactly. I like that they really did a good job with that.
Mm-hmm.
And they set up everything and the wound bleeding when he's blood pressure's up. I love that detail.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he figures out that he's how Max figures out that Agent 23.
Actually, it wasn't really the wound. It was the radiation.
It was both, if I remember correctly. 23.
I thought it was just the radiation. Maxwell detected off from his watch and whatnot.
It was both, actually. Because they had set up earlier with the paintball game.
Okay.
That when Agent 23's blood pressure's up, his recent wounds would seep blood.
Huh.
They set that up. So it was a combo with the radiation when the radiation in the place that didn't have radiation. Mm-hmm.
Quote unquote.
And that. Yes, exactly. So it wasn't. So you were right. You were right, and I was right. Isn't that great?
We're two halves of a whole idiot.
Exactly. Two halves of a whole right too.
And
we're gonna get to some smaller things.
Let's see. I think the dancing was really.
I love that dance scene.
Yeah,
it was a good dance scene. Yes, it was. I like the scene when they're with the lasers. That was done well.
Where Max has the rat in his shirt.
And he had the right reaction for that because I'd be reacting exactly like that if a rat was near me, even if it wasn't on me. I'd be like, ah.
It was on me. Like I probably panic a bit if it's especially in a nice suit like that. And also, I don't know, trying to avoid friggin' lasers there. I don't know, that'll slice me in quarters basically.
Exactly. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Of course, I remember there was the president played by James Caan. And my immediate thought when this is bad. My immediate thought when we got to the scene introducing the president, my immediate thought was, "Sir, a plane has hit the second tower." And not like this isn't me being funny, but genuinely what I'm trying to say there is seriously, that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like that time George Bush was reading to the kids, and which was on 9/11.
I think they're making reference to that.
I know. I know they were. I wasn't trying to be edgy and just make a bad 9/11 joke.
No, they did that. Not you.
They did, not me. The fact that I thought of it is what they wanted. They wanted me to think about the time George Bush was there, saying, "I want to know what happened with the duck." Wait, that's Scary Movie 4, which also referenced Bush. Or was it 3? That one was Leslie Nielsen.
All right, when it comes to jokes like that, we got 3 down. We got another 908 to go.
Exactly. Well, since we're talking about jokes anyway, you said the comedy was. What'd you say about the comedy, Nick?
I think it's all right at times. I think it's all right overall. Like I feel like some of the deliveries were just kind of on the weaker side.
There were highlights for me, and then there were low. I don't know if there were any lowlights for me. There was a weird. The weird thing about this film.
Yep.
Is that some of the jokes felt like Family Guy cutaways. They worked better than Family Guy cutaways, I think.
I mean,
they kind of tied into
the high bar at this point of time.
They tied into the plot. They tied into the character. It didn't feel as random as like, this is as bad as the one time I went to Arby's and got a beef and cheddar.
This is bad as the
one time. Oh my God!
Time.
There's a fingernail in my beef and cheddar. Oh no!
Holy crap, Lois! This is worse than the time Matt made one of those Towers jokes.
Yeah.
907 now.
Sir, a second plane has hit 7-Eleven.
Now we're down to 906.
Okay. Well, that was a joke. I'm going to hell.
Yep, and it fell hard.
Yes, I think it's 905 now.
We're both going to hell for this.
Yes, we are. I did like, by the way, I will say, I love the references to the show. Missed it by that much. Would you believe that stuff? Part of it is just because it ties into the original series without it being obvious. Like you would, if you didn't know the original series, it would still be funny. It would still work. I do have to ask, since you do know the show, did they also have Family Guy style cutaways, or is that just in this movie?
No, I don't think there was any cutaways at all from what I remember.
Yeah, okay, just wanted to make sure.
There's the usual missed it by this much.
Yes.
Or the whole would you believe?
Would you believe Matt's never seen Get Smart except for 2 episodes?
Somehow, yes. In this case.
Yeah, me too.
And also that's the 10th. That's the first time I fell for that this month. The old Matt gets the joke, but he really doesn't get the joke.
Yes, that's another one. That was another, of course, because when they introduced the shoe phone.
Fell for that the first time this month.
Exactly. So it was. I'm glad they did that because if you know what, here's something I will say that's coming off the top of my head now. Here's a point.
Before you get on your point, I do like they brought out the shoe phone for one gag.
It was a good gag. It was pretty good. Okay, I will mention one last and then I want to mention a big point I want to make. I like that they had Fang. I know he was barely in the movie, but it was a cute dog. Cute dogs always, that always gets a plus for me.
And also, Maxwell Smart had a dog in the show named Fang, so hey, that's nice.
Yeah, so another reference.
No, the original dog was bigger.
That's okay. I mean, come on, listen, put it this way.
At this point, at least he had a dog.
Exactly, and it was a dog that anybody would want. It's a dog that's it's Merc-sized.
It's small, it's small, it's cute, it's good enough.
That's exactly the case. I want to make one point. You know what I like about this? In a way, it isn't a total change from the original series. I mean, there's some changes, but at least they didn't turn Maxwell Smart into a villain, and everybody else was killed off. Even though, you know what I'm referencing, Nick?
No, there's some sort of
Mission Impossible. Mission
Seriously?
Impossible. Well, that's the whole idea. Jim Phelps, who was the original, one of the original members in Mission Impossible, the character, talking about the character, not the actor,
right?
Because that actor was Peter Graves. The character in the movie was played by Jon Voight, and he ultimately listen. By the way, if you honestly have not seen the first Mission Impossible, spoilers for Mission Impossible.
All right, I'm listening.
Okay, Jim Phelps is the villain. He is the mastermind behind everything. He kills off the entire team minus Ethan Hunt.
Damn you, Jim!
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing. Since I didn't watch the original series, I didn't have any connection to the characters, any of the characters that would have been in the series, including Jim Phelps. So it's easy for me to go with, oh, well, now he's different. Whereas I think if you watched the original series, I'm not going to say his name. I did know a guy in high school who did see the original series and did complain about that specific part.
Interesting.
You know him. I worked with him. We went to the same school. We're all familiar with each other. Anyway, I do think it worked only because of the fact that it works better if you have not seen the series, if you never saw the series, or if you don't have a real connection with the series. If you have a connection to the series, it's going to be a little harder maybe to kind of separate,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we got stuff. For me, I think the film was just alright. It wasn't bad, but I don't think it was to the point where I think it was, necessarily good. I think it's alright. It was for me, I think it was a good one-time watch, and I think I'm fine with that.
That is okay. Every once in a while, you gotta have your one-time watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's how I felt with something like Eraserhead, which is Eastwick, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Which is of Eastwick? That was Jack Nicholson, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the other film you mentioned? Oh, Eraserhead. That's the one you mentioned.
Yeah.
Also. Listen, Nick, I get it. I get it.
I will tell you something about Eraserhead.
Yeah.
If you want a drug trip, but without the drugs, just watch Eraserhead. That's it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's a David Lynch film, Nick. What do you expect?
I expect him not to take the acid for 5 seconds.
Nick, I saw Dune. That's the first David Lynch film I ever saw.
My first David Lynch film was Eraserhead. I'm not sure what's a worse start here.
Well, I mean, I would say, pardon me, I don't know. It depends on preference, I guess.
And I'll just say this right now, I wasn't into Eraserhead. It was just...
Here's the thing. You know what, Nick? How about... I don't know what movie I could recommend.
I'm just saying for the folks at home.
Listen, Nick, I'll tell you something. You know what? Dune is on HBO Max, I think. Still, I'm talking about the David Lynch film.
I know what you're talking about.
So give it a watch sometime. That way you don't have to spend money on it.
Yeah.
Because I spent money on it.
I mean...
And well, I didn't hate it enough to want a refund. I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Alright, let's move on to something else. Good Lord.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the brand new, the not too new section. Here we go again! So last time we talked about reissuing, I wanted a reissue of Genesis Live, the 1977 concert film.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I'm going a little simpler, but also with a little bit of context needed. So, recently, the band Talking Heads, there's a new box set based around their 1977 debut, Talking Heads 77.
Oh, nice.
And it's a 3 CD set with a Blu-ray audio disc. And I mention that because I want them to do something like that with their first live album. Not... the album was called The Name of This Band is Talking Heads. That's the name of the album. And when it was released in 1982, it was a double album, so, 2 LPs, and it was a little over 80 minutes. When they did a CD reissue, they didn't just reissue it, they added new tracks to it. So, the thing is, it's hard to get that album physically now. So to me, what I want to see happen is I want to see another reissue of Name of This Band is Talking Heads. Here's the thing. I have a very specific goal in mind. 2 CDs and a Blu-ray audio disc. Simple enough. Very specifically, there's a song on that album called Cross-Eyed and Painless, it was on the album Remain in Light. The live version would usually have this longer intro to it, and it was originally like that on the original release of the album. But when they put it on CD, they cut out the intro for some reason. And I say it like that because the CD, to me, the CD would be long enough with the intro. It would still fit within the constraints of a CD. So it was kind of weird they cut the intro to that, but all the other songs are probably about as long. And it's not a huge change. It's just like, okay, we have all the songs from the 2004 version, except we also have the full intro, Cross-Eyed and Painless. And that's it. That's all I really have to say. I don't need to elaborate any further on that.
Fair enough.
Okay. What do you got?
So, for here we go again. We can talk about remakes of anything, right?
Reissues, exactly, anything.
Alright. Because here's the thing. There was a game I played, not too long ago called Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem for the GameCube. Very good game. I love the whole Sanity effects, how messes with you with the fourth wall and whatnot. It is wild. However, I wish they could remake that, and that's change some Sanity effects, in fact, to screw you today even more. Even more?
Even
more so,
Nick,
or not.
That's a great idea.
Because
that is a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. And also, and here's the thing, that really what happened once, in terms of when it comes to gaming as a whole, it only happened in that game really. Sure, there's psychological horror games like Silent Hill and whatnot, but where the game's actually out to target you, that makes it special.
That getting a full remake, that's what it should be, not a remaster, a remake.
Exactly, and I'm not Matt, I do not want to see any of these sound effects because you need to see it for yourself. They are wild.
Imagine having some of those. Okay, imagine. I got an idea for one. It would have to be PC exclusive, but imagine if you're playing the game and your sanity is low, and all of a sudden it says System 32 deleted. It would be scary.
So pretty much a blue screen to death.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Matt, I hate to break this one to you. That is a sound effect in the game.
I'm not surprised, Nick.
I am not kidding.
Surprised.
There's literally a blue screen of death in the game.
I'm not surprised. That does not surprise me in the slightest.
Remember, this is for the GameCube.
Nick, it gives you an idea of how good the idea is that they did already.
That shows.
Exactly. But that would be an interesting idea for a remake.
This is 2002 or something? I need to look.
Yeah, 2004. I thought it was 2004.
I can't remember what year this was.
Point is, it was early 2000s, so you got a lot. It was innovative in that sense. Because they really went all out with kind of.
No, it was 2002.
You were right. You were right. Take pride in that, Nick. You were correct.
I played the game. It was very good.
Yes, you did. I didn't watch, only because I kind of didn't want to be spoiled on things. I figured I'd get to it at some point in the future.
You should. I always emulate it, because it is kind of a pricey game to find.
That is understandable.
In fact, we found that that game at the comic book shop you go to.
Oh yes, that comic book shop. Yes, the one where I also got Prince of Persia.
But for the Xbox.
Exactly, and I'm glad I have it for the Xbox.
I got for the GameCube. I'm pleased.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I think that's everything for Here We Go Again.
Yeah, because you want your talking heads. I want my Eternal Darkness remake.
Yes, I want Talking Heads because it's why I've been listening to it recently. Because now let's get to the Fireside chat. I will say this. Part of the thing is I've been in a Talking Heads kick lately.
Oh, nice.
I've been listening to a lot of their music.
I only know a few things from them. I know Psycho Killer, and also and the one thing I know the best is letting the days go by, let the water hold me down.
Yeah, the days go by. Yes, Once in a Lifetime is the first Talking Heads song I actually heard. The first time I heard that song, I think, was actually in the W trailer.
Oh, nice.
It's a random thing, but it worked. It worked for that trailer. I think one great thing about how I'm listening to music now is that I have YouTube Music, which is great because I can listen to whole discographies without having to buy them. I get to listen to all kinds of new releases and stuff, too. And that's a good thing because I got to listen to the relatively brand new Queen 1 2024 remix.
Oh, nice.
Ah, boy, Nick. You know how you were nitpicky about the Get Smart film in comparison to the TV show?
I think I remember from the last podcast you were nitpicky about Queen stuff.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but trust me, Nick, the last time don't forget about the day that the thing came out last month, and I was sending messages live as I was listening to it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was what I was thinking about.
Yeah, exactly. So there I am.
Right. I messed up.
6 in the... there I am at 6 in the morning, and it's 6 in the morning, and I'm just sending you all messages about the album.
Yeah, folks. Matt was sleep drunk when doing this.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. So for context, Queen have decided to reissue their first album, but they didn't just put the old master on a new CD. No. What they did was they remixed the album for 2024, and they included one of the songs that was cut from the album, and that's great. That part's great. But then the thing is, they changed the drum sound.
Oof.
And I'm not this is something they actually stated, so it's not a surprise.
Okay, that's good. I always think, warned you in advance.
Exactly. Here's the thing. If I had never heard the album before, I think I'd like it. I think I'd like it a lot. But because I heard the album originally, there was a part of me that's I like it, but I also don't.
It's why'd you change the drums? Why'd you do it?
I don't mind it on a lot of the songs. Keep Yourself Alive is good, and Doing Alright is good, and Great King Rat is pretty good. And Mad the Swine, though, I think was the best of the remixes. That, Modern Times Rock and Roll. Those two, I think, are the best remixes of the album. And a lot of the other ones are fine, but the one that annoyed me the most was Liar.
Huh. Ironically,
Liar. For me, it's the most special of the songs somehow. I think part of it is it's an epic, for one thing. And it was starting with the little things. In Liar, there's these hand claps. Like that. They have this reverb on the original, and it doesn't sound the same. They changed something about them in the new remix. And I don't think they changed them they have a whole different take. I just think that the mixing is different. Same for the drums and same for everything.
Right. They tell the band tells the truth, and the worst thing is still a liar. Go figure.
Exactly. And the drums in particular, for some reason, sounded more off than the rest of the album.
Huh.
I can't quite explain it. And there's this part where throughout the entire thing, they pitch corrected Freddie Mercury, which is a weird thing to do.
Okay, why would you do that?
Because, look, I'd love to... probably thinking, I don't know if it's Queen thinking this or some engineer or something. Someone there is thinking we have to make it sound like an album today, which is I don't agree with.
No.
I feel like
keep the music the way it was.
Mess with the drums, mess with the guitars, mess with the mix, but don't pitch correct something that doesn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, but he was flat on this note. I don't care. I don't care. In fact, actually, I'm more bothered that you decide to fix something.
Don't touch Freddie's vocals. Christ.
What made it perfect for me is that there were moments of imperfection. There were moments where things were where he cracked or where he was flat or sharp or something. That's where the perfection is because it works.
You know what that is? That's Freddie. You let Freddie be Freddie.
You know what he had there? He had emotion to it.
Yeah.
Too. It was emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just a random thing. It was the phrasing of a line.
Right.
That's what made it work.
Yeah, that one actually bothers me.
And you know what? I described Liar as it's someone drawing a mustache on the Mona Lisa.
Pretty much.
And I remember there was a part where you know the song Liar, right, Nick?
I admit I don't have too much knowledge with the song.
Do you at least understand the part? Do you know the part where they go, "Mom, I'm gonna be your slave all day long"? You know that part?
I think I don't.
It's in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the middle of the song, and the original. I love it. I love that part. It's a great breakdown. It's a great kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great moment. On this new remix,
what did they do?
They added. Okay, this was an element that was in the original song, but it was buried in the mix. So they brought it up. Bongos.
Why?
They brought the bongos up in the mix. And the thing my immediate thought was, do you know, there's a Markiplier meme. Can we cut the casual bongos? That was my immediate thought. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay then, that is something. And like, those bongos were brought up in the mix for a 1991 remix of the song Liar. So this isn't like a new idea. It's just done again.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about The Night Comes Down. It was the first thing that got released from this remix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the video uses AI.
Of course.
And let me clarify, because there are different ways of using AI.
Right.
There's using AI as a tool to fix, to enhance, to make it better.
Right.
But to keep the essence of stuff. Okay. Then there is what they did, which is like, let's have the pictures move. Let's bring the pictures to life with AI. Don't do that ever again. It looks terrible. It makes everyone look really bad, and it is so bad it bothers me deeply in my soul for no reason, but no, for good reason probably.
To quote Mystery Science Theater, man, that's some good old-fashioned nightmare fuel.
Yeah, actually, it is. You know what they could have done? They could have easily taken all those archive photos they have of the band from that period and just make a photo collage with animated lyrics. It would look a lot better and it'd be less distracting.
Probably.
Now look, they did a new video for Keep Yourself Alive, and this is better. They just re-edited the video from the original tapes. That's all they did. And that at least does look... At least is a good video. They didn't crop the video to fit the 16:9 aspect ratio. It's uncropped. It looks good. It actually looks good, so that's good. And here's the thing. Again, that was my midnight, my sleep-deprived listen. Now that I've listened to it with a lot more energy and a lot more thought, I am a little more charitable, I think, because...
it's okay.
It's good. I think it is good. It's just that I'm glad I have the original, and I'm never going to get rid of the original.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't get rid of the original either.
No, because the original has too many memories for me to get rid of it. Because, yeah, I mean, listen, I made a music video to the original mix of Keep Yourself Alive. Why would I get rid of that?
And, spoiler alert, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was
fun.
It was good for a high school student.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I will say, though, a positive with it, the demos are nice. I like that. It's an interesting bit of insight.
Fair enough. That's something I could definitely give one nut.
Yes, and that's enough ranting about Queen 1, the remix. Okay, we're not done yet, though. We still have a couple things I want to talk about.
But we're not done yet.
But wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I rewatched a film I never expected to rewatch.
Oh, what'd you watch?
The Cat in the Hat.
Oh, yeah. I kind of expect that one.
Here's the thing, Nick. You know what made me rewatch it?
What?
I'll tell you the whole story. I was making the Galaxy Quest video. At one of the sections, I mentioned the Cat in the Hat.
Alrighty.
And I was trying to think of a way to do that weird montage thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized originally it was going to be like a YouTube poop of the movie. And I finished that and I said, no, that's good, but I think I'll go with something else. So I decided, okay, I'll use a few select moments from the film. And I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't hate this movie.
Gotcha. It's like, it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. It's a weird thing. I never thought my opinion would change so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really didn't. Now, here's the thing. Do I think it's a good movie?
Not really.
No, I don't. But did I enjoy it this time around? Yes, I did.
Essentially, you just thought the film was just alright.
Yeah, that is the right...
Essentially, kind of like how I felt about Get Smart. I think it was just alright. Not a bad film, but not really I would consider on the side of good for yourself. Like, especially not the taste.
It's not a classic, So... Here's what has stayed the same. I hate Humberfloops still. I don't like the fish. Mike Myers, funny enough, there are times where I think I really like what he's doing, and then there are times I don't.
Yeah, it's funny. I like the banter between the cat and fish in the video game. Honestly, like the game was actually not bad. From I remember playing like when I was a kid. It actually wasn't bad.
I might want to revisit the Cat in the Hat in a bigger video, and I just had the idea of doing a Dr. Seuss retrospective, not of all the big adaptations. So like part 1 could be all the animated ones, the original shorts,
stuff like Horn. Like the shorts, and like
Horton Hears a Who, the original Horton Hears a Who film, the original Lorax, the original Cat in the Hat, and the original
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
The original Grinch, and all the sort of Grinch-related sort of spin-off things, like the Grinch Halloween and the Cat in the Hat Grinches. No, the Grinch is the Cat in the Hat, or whatever that one was.
And Disney said, the Avengers had the most epic crossover. No, they'd never seen the Cat in the Hat and the Grinch together.
Exactly. And
that's an epic crossover. Suck it, nerds.
Exactly. Part 2 would be like the
Part 2 would be cupcakes. Oh yeah.
Part 2 would be the live action, all the like the post with the Jim Carrey and onward, all the theatrical films. So that would mean a re-review of the Grinch, a re-review of the Cat in the Hat, and then a first review of Horton Hears a Who, the Lorax, and the Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a project for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there is one other thing I would like to talk about.
Just one more thing.
One more thing. Brand new trailer for the film Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning came out today. As we're recording this on the 11th.
Oh wow.
11/11. Yes. So finally, a brand new The Final Mission Impossible film until the 9th Mission Impossible film comes out.
Until they decide to remake it and make more sequels because Hollywood's desperate and make a new cast, and also everything's just bullshit.
If Hollywood were smart, they would either A, remake movies that need to be remade. Not just randomly remake a movie because they can, but pick a movie that had the potential.
Disney, remake The Black Cauldron. People will like it.
I'll buy tickets. I will. Put the Black Cauldron original out in 4K. I'll buy it.
Yeah, because that's like Everyone knows it's not really a good film, but
it's an interesting film.
It's an interesting film, especially from Disney. It's like a little bit of history.
And the thing is, Nick, I was actually thinking. I always pick the Black Cauldron when it comes to Disney films that should be remade.
Yeah, I say that as well.
Because nowadays a PG-13 dark fantasy film would do well.
It's like, hell, it's a film that didn't do so well. It's like, hey, give it another shot. I feel like it could be done well. There's a good idea there.
There is potential. And you know what, Nick? The Black Cauldron, it would work in live action.
Mm-hmm.
That's a live action film. Whereas, put it this way, you know what? Another film that could work in live action that isn't Disney, but you know something?
What?
Did 8 Crazy Nights have to be animated?
I mean, do you want to see real life Adam Sandler hump a car?
No, you're right. I don't want to see that.
My point proven.
Yeah, that's probably why they made it animated. Also, do you want to see the reindeer with the shit in its teeth in live action?
There you go.
I think I've answered my own question. Would you like to see Whitey's literal hairy ass in live action?
You could just go on the hub for that.
You're right. That's a sad day.
Yes.
But yeah, that's probably why they made it animated, so they can do all that weird stuff without having to worry about it getting an X rating.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know the MPA would be like, no, this is bad.
Kids, this is crap.
Exactly. This is crap. I can't do it. I cannot do an impression of Pee Wee Herman. I think that's it. I think that's all we really have left to say.
Technically, that's all you have to say because, my God, you got on a lot of topics.
I did. And I mean, oh wait, we didn't even finish talking about Mission Impossible.
You're doing a real good job with your podcast here.
I'm doing great. So the new film, I did watch the trailer, and I am interested in seeing that new Mission Impossible. Part of me believes it when they say it's the last one.
We call bullshit. At least I do.
Listen, the thing is, Nick, it's the last one of this series, probably. I'm sure they'll do...
It's probably the last one with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, pretty much. I think after this, they'll do a Mission Impossible... They'll do a reboot movie series. They'll do... it'll be like a continuation where Ethan Hunt is referenced, but like it is a different crew, which that part could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Look, as long as they do something interesting after this one,
fair enough, yeah.
I have all the films though now, so if I wanted to catch up, I could.
That's good.
Yes. By the way, we can talk about this because this is relatively recent news. The movie Michael has been pushed back to October 3rd.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Random man in the state of New York was yelling about this for days on end.
So that's what I heard those few days ago that night. I felt some birds.
Yeah. Some really angry birds that yell fuck.
Hey, don't insult those birds. Those birds are magical.
You're right, they are magical, because they just are. That's how I can make money off those birds. Sir, okay, I did...
You could probably make a mobile game out of that.
Yes, fuck birds.
Jesus. Alright, continue.
That's okay. But in all seriousness, I didn't actually get that upset when I heard the news.
Mm-hmm.
It was disappointing, but I wasn't...
For you, it was like, damn.
It was just disappointing. I really wanted to see the film. I've been waiting for a long time now. Like, I think since very early on being a fan. So we're talking like... God, 16 years ago at this... No. Yes. Like 16, 17 years ago. Yeah, it's been that long that I've been listening to this man's music. And so it is disappointing that the film's getting delayed. And I know why. I've heard that it's because they want to have... for award season. That's the reason.
Okay.
Which is fine with me. I think that's the right way to go because, hey, Jafar Jackson could get nominated for an Academy Award now. Which I think a lot of people would like to see. And by a lot of people, I mean Michael Jackson fans.
Fair enough.
And I mean, I've heard from people that have seen the footage of the film that he's eerily like his uncle, which is good because, you're playing Michael Jackson, who's this massive pop culture figure that if you just say the name, a lot of people will know who you're talking about.
Pretty much.
So, by the way, I'm eating a Snickers. Sorry.
Oh, man. It really is true. You really are now you when you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute, who was talking to for the past hour then?
You were talking to my cousin, Dennis.
Damn you, Dennis.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm mostly excited just because I want to see the story done right.
Fair enough.
Because a lot of music biopics have this tendency to just do whatever they want a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Absolutely, Nick.
I'll leave it at that because no, you get to rant on this for a little bit because I usually do the rants.
Ah, yes. Where creative liberties just go all in with. They just done all the crack with creative liberties.
Exactly. It was like, well, we gotta tell the story of Freddie Mercury, and oh no! My printed copy of Walk Hard got mixed in with this Freddie Mercury film.
Someone got this Walk Hard in my Queen.
Exactly.
Someone got this Queen in my Walk Hard. Actually, that sounds horrible.
It does. Look, here's the thing. I need to review the movie, like, proper, because I know, I did it in,
the nostalgia
like,
nitpicker?
2018. Yeah. I was gonna say, I did it with Jacob back when we had that main show.
Right.
But that's different. Red Snobs is the show where I can go so in-depth because I got the time. I can watch the film multiple times without having to spend $9, $10, $12 a ticket.
Right.
So,
why don't you?
Doing the movie that way means I can kind of go, I can really dig into it.
Mm-hmm.
It deserves to get digged into. Besides, I can go into how my opinion changed over time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that is for another day, years in the future, when the world ends.
Or when hell freezes over.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. The day before hell freezes over, my Bohemian Rhapsody review comes out. And here's the thing. I will clarify this. I don't hate Bohemian Rhapsody, the film.
He doesn't. He keeps saying that. I
think the reason I keep saying it is because I do complain a lot. So I have to clarify. It's not that I hate the movie. It's that I've got two different opinions in the same space. I like the movie. I dislike the historical part. And the movie also has its own flaws. We'll get, again, a proper review is what I'll have to do.
Whatever he decides to get to that, he'll discuss.
It'll be next year's video. It'll be next year's Snobmas video out of nowhere.
Nah, probably the Snobmas video 2 years from now because you forgot about next year.
Exactly. Honestly, the fact that I forgot, I genuinely, in the Galaxy Quest video, I said, oh, I spent all month rebuilding my room, so I never wrote the script. That's half the truth, actually. I didn't rebuild my room at all. But I somehow I was so invested in other stuff I was doing that I forgot to write the script for The Crow. I wrote some of it. I have, like, points. I just never fleshed them out yet. Mm-hmm. So I could do it someday. I might do it next year. But still.
Mm-hmm.
I realized the Galaxy Quest video I could finish for Halloween.
Yeah.
All I have to do is add some Snoboween-related stuff and retrofit some stuff for Snoboween, and we're good.
Mm-hmm. And
I did. And I do not regret a single thing.
That's good.
I think it's a good video. Have you seen it?
I forgot to see it, actually. I forgot.
Well, that's fine. Okay, so I will talk about one of the albums I've been listening to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I'm editing videos, I like to listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things I listened to was the Talking Heads debut album, Talking Heads 77.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, I'm going to keep this very simple so we can get to Nick's album.
Or in this case, anything that's music.
Yes, anything that's music. Let's keep it simple. The songs I like the most, that stood out the most for me, Uh-Oh, Love Comes to Town, Psycho Killer, and Pulled Up. That's basically it. I don't have to say much. I think if I listen to it more, I'll be able to like talk more about it in the future. We'll talk more about it in the future. Go, Nick.
All right, what comes song? I kind of want to bring up a song I've been, I listened to a hell of a amount for this entire a song called "Heaven's Hung in Black" from the band W.A.S.P. I guess I get no response for that.
Sorry, I was wondering what album is that from?
It's from the album Dominator. It's like a 2007 album, I believe. Yeah, it's 2007. All I can say is, holy crap, that song is a doozy. Like, it is a legitimate heartbreaker. Like a nice slow tempo and now it's a pretty good song, in like the middle and the end, but god damn, Black and Lawless, vocal delivery, it is unbelievable on this song. If being Veterans Day as we're recording this.
Oh yeah.
The song be about, pretty much how to explain it. People die in war and the gates of heaven were sealed because too many people went in due to the casualties of war.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a reference to Abe Lincoln said during the Civil War. Tonight, heaven's hung in black. Especially, the build up with Black Eel. After the first solo, good Lord Almighty, it's a goddamn heartbreaker and a half.
That is a good. That is. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I really recommend the song. It is freaking great. It's a great song, but shit, it's a heartbreaker at times. And also, man, remember how I mentioned that? I think I mentioned this in the last podcast episode. I mentioned I have terrible guitar spending habits.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember that.
Guess what I did recently?
Got another guitar?
Pretty much. Terrible guitar spending habits happened. Strikes again.
Yes.
Are you surprised by this?
Honestly, no. Nick, would you be surprised if I said that I bought a movie?
Good point.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yep, pretty much brought something new and... This is an expensive hobby.
Yes, it is. It's just like it's not just like buying movies, but it is. Movies can get expensive.
Here's the thing. It said, please allow 7 to 10 working days for processing and shipping confirmation. Now it takes around 4 to 10 business working days for delivery. Guess what didn't happen?
What?
That much time.
Wow.
So pretty much, you expect to be coming like a month from now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the earliest supposed is due is 2 days from now. I am not kidding.
That is impressive.
I am impressed. Shit, these people work fast. All I can say is shoutouts to Vola because good lord, they work quick and well. From what I hear about this brand, insanely well crafted and whatnot. I hope they stay true to that. So yeah, shoutouts to Vola.
I want to mention one specific song too.
Sure. Hey, go ahead. That'd be a good way to wrap this up.
Good way to wrap it up. Okay. When it comes to Talking Heads, I don't have that many albums. Here are the albums I have. I have the soundtrack to True Stories that was released on the Criterion Blu-ray of the film.
Mm-hmm.
So it includes all those songs. I have the True Stories album, the original album from '86.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Greatest Hits album.
Nice.
And then on top of that, I have Stop Making Sense, the album.
Make it make sense.
I will. The thing is, I think a future episode will be talking about the film Stop Making Sense. I think that'd be a good topic. One of the things I will say is a lot of the versions in the album Stop Making Sense, so in the film too, I think are better than the original versions. I won't say all of them. I'll leave some for that discussion in the future. But what I will talk about is what a day that was. Here's the thing. It's a David Byrne solo song.
Mm-hmm.
For a soundtrack, I believe, to something. I forget what exactly. The original version is fine. It's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
But then you hear the Stop Making Sense version. It's a totally different number. It's a faster, more upbeat tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And the arrangement of the song is a whole lot better. It's grander too.
Mm.
So it really kind of adds something. It's a much better version. Performance too. The performance is also better from everyone. David Byrne, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He does great on the he does good on the album version, but on the Stop Making Sense one, it's even better.
Nice.
And there are songs like that for me throughout the album. Stop Making Sense.
Sweet.
Anyway, that is it. We are done.
Now we're done. Because I finally got topics in. Hooray!
Which I'm glad, because frankly, that makes it better.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it like a podcast instead of the Matt cast.
Mm-hmm. But you almost kind of made it happen.
I almost did. I mean, listen, we have a lot of topics here, which is good. So yeah, that is everything.
So the best I can say is, listen to Heaven's Hung in Black. It's a great song. Just do it.
And that is everything. We are going to be leaving now. Goodbye, everybody.
Yay.
Ha.